Well, guys, it's Arkansas game week for Auburn, and Brandon, you well know, as someone who's from Arkansas, all that you've chronicled it already previously, some of the various different ties that this Auburn coaching staff has, from Gus Malzahn and Rhett Lashley and Tim Horton and J.B. Grimes. There's so many different ties that they have in their past to Arkansas as a program and growing up there and other things, that this game week, more than just what the game means on the field at this point in the season, there's a lot of other peripheral things going on. There's just a little bit of a deeper meaning for these coaches in particular when it comes to playing Arkansas.
You know, for this Auburn staff, it's about, they're going to be coaching in front of a lot of family members. Rhett Lashley's family still lives up there. A lot of Gus Malzahn's family still lives up there. J.B. Grimes has been from Arkansas, of course, his entire life, grew up there, learned to be a tough guy from his days working on the farm in South Arkansas. Tim Horton, I think, almost single-handedly kept that program afloat when Houston Nutt left with his golden handcuffs, and they brought Bobby Petrino in, and Petrino had a very hard time keeping the recruiting class together, and Tim Horton came in and kept it all together. So a lot of ties, obviously, but now here more recently, it's been about the gamesmanship between Bret Bielema and Gus Malzahn. We didn't see a lot of it last season. Obviously, the background is player safety and whether hurry-up, up-tempo offenses lead to more injuries. But 2 years ago, within about a period of 60 seconds, was some of the funnest things you'll ever see on the football field.
That was bizarre in so many ways, from leading into it with the genesis being the player injury debate and discussion, and that media days back and forth all within about an hour or so between Malzahn and Bielema. Then get to the game, and both the swinging gate play that Arkansas, after the swinging gate video controversy that wasn't a controversy really at all, an overblown thing that should never have been made public from Bielema, then they run a swinging gate play.
Arkansas does.
Arkansas runs a swinging gate. There's Anthony Swain involved with the tackle, getting back on the field, standing in the end zone for several moments, and then seemingly out of the blue, falling onto the field, leading to a very odd injury of sorts. That
wasn't so smooth.
Initially, no, not at all. It wasn't smooth in the least. And that being obviously brought up by so many, by obviously Arkansas fans, and Bielema was very upset in live action at the time. All of us in the stadium who had a better vantage point understood what was going on and what the controversy was. Gus Malzahn immediately after the game, not knowing, thinking that Swain was just playing hurt, having to come back the following Tuesday and say, no, I understand what the questioning was, and having to address it subsequently. So it was so much gamesmanship back and forth, with first the tape, and then running the play, and then the injury that wasn't exactly an injury.
Here are the facts, and I was there for both of them. The swinging gate play has been run twice inside Razorback Stadium. Gus Malzahn ran it when he was the Arkansas offensive coordinator against Alabama to pick up a first down. Bret Bielema did it to pick up a first down against Auburn and Gus Malzahn. So to say, you know, we'll just run it. No. It was gamesmanship, and it was so awesome.
And that's part of what fuels it, though. Like we said, what makes it great, what makes it all. Because it's beyond just the game, that there are some of these side things, that part of what makes college football good with some of these things, and different and unique and entertaining, is that some of these things happen, is that some of these personalities take over, and that there is more than just winning. It's going about how doing it in a certain way and carrying yourself a certain way and digging at each other a little bit. And that builds from coaches, that builds from programs. Wes, we've seen that in plenty of places for not just this particular storyline, but we've seen that in plenty of places. And it could be simple as a play that wasn't planned, like what happened in Michigan State this past weekend, to a play that is planned, like what happened with Arkansas and Auburn. Not to say that that's automatically going to happen this week, but we've seen a wide array of these kind of situations.
Yeah, I mean, when these two teams are going up against each other, there's, especially since Bielema's been there and Malzahn's been there, it's just been kind of some interesting games and some interesting play calls and that kind of thing. And Bielema always has something to say after
Bret
the game.
Bielema in the summer said he hates Auburn.
He did. Yes, he did. There was the whole thing last year when they came to Auburn and he got stuck in the elevator. And
the assistant coaches.
Yeah, the assistant coaches got stuck in the elevator at halftime and weren't able to talk to the team, and there was a whole thing about that. So it should be fun. I mean, I'm curious to see what Bielema says after the game and just how it all plays out. Also, first trip to Arkansas for me, so I'll have to follow your guys' lead. But
that further makes this interesting, is for a series that only takes place once a year. this is somehow a game that, this isn't basketball where there's multiple games a year potentially or some other things that you can bring things up constantly. This is once a year, and yet in only 2 meetings there's already been all these things that have happened. It is kind of strange, but again, it's part of what makes it kind of fun.
And the one final thing about it, last year we didn't see any of it in the season opener, and you figured, hey, maybe with a tie game at halftime 21-21 we might see it. Didn't happen, and then you've got Gus Malzahn and Bret Bielema saying, yeah, we text back and forth every now and again to congratulate
trying to downplay everything.
Just trying to downplay everything.
Yeah.
But then Bret Bielema comes out of the booster club. I hate Auburn. So I don't think they hate each other. I just think that they see something there. It ramps up the fan bases. And really, at this point with these two teams, anything to get this going and get some interest in the game, have at it.
Yeah, so, I mean, they're both 1-2 in conference play, and the loser of this game might finish last in the West. I mean, I don't know how it's all going to play out, but I mean, obviously, nobody wants to be down 1-3 at this point. So
a lot riding on it besides just the wins and losses, but the win and loss column is going to be a major factor, especially for the loser of this game. As you say, Wes, it could be a real uphill battle for that team the rest of the way.